So while this is October 26, 2024, and it's dated, it's National Blue Ribbon Make a Difference Day. And this is just not today, it's every day from this time forth to be able to focus on what's working instead of what isn't, building people up instead of putting them down. I am Elise Bridges, but everybody calls me Grandma Sparky. And I am the founder of Blue Ribbons Worldwide. And our mission is uniting humanity through the power of love, one child, one community, one country at a time, to be able to uplift and unite and inspire others to know that they matter and that who they are makes a difference. We have our training programs, our curriculum, everything that we teach is about advancing human potential. And Roberto, who's going to get on the call with me in just a moment, who's kind of staring out to space, but you're wearing a great a shirt, by the way. Um,
Thank
is a graduate of Standing Strong Together, community building, leadership training, teaching humanity how to love. Let me introduce Roberto to you. And 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 we can add any, and Roberto, you can add anything on because you got a new job and an opportunity to do something that is in your heart right now, I think. Yes.
you. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. But Roberto is a community development consultant. And he's also my student from when, how old were you when we first met?
I believe it was 13. Yeah,
You're 13
13.
years old. So, and
Mhm.
how old are you now?
At 31.
31. Okay. So we know each other all this time, but at the time, um, in our work, you became the president of High Tech High, your high school, yes, the president.
Yes. Uh-huh.
And that's Chula Vista, California, for those that don't, that are listening for all over the world. And you went on to be a graduate of SoCA University, which is a high end. They only take the best of the best at SoCA. Would you say that might be true?
It's pretty competitive, yes.
It's very competitive, and
Yeah.
also, so you're a Blue Ribbon City a trainer, but you're also while you were at SoCA, you learned, was it Mandarin?
Yeah. I took Mandarin for about 3 years.
3 years. So
Mhm.
you took that. So I want to just, in the few minutes that we have this today, is to tell you why I like you so much and I adore you so much. And then and what you're teaching me is that when you were, I think, selected by to be in my training when you were 13 years old. Was that correct?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I think, I don't know how many students were in that library in Chula Vista, California, but I'm gonna. Do you know how many was there?
I want to say there was about 30 to 40 people, and out of those people, I mean, you were the only facilitator, right? And the
Right.
rest were students.
It
Yeah.
was exactly.
Hmm.
And here's the great news about you. And I have all of your writings, all these years, the great writings, the letters you've written, all this. Um, what I loved about you is that you were so skeptical about this thing called love and a blue ribbon, and how do we, transform a life in 60 seconds or less by the power of acknowledgement. And so take me to where you were at 13 and what you were thinking about what I was speaking about, and then we'll bring it current, okay?
Yeah, absolutely. So, what can I say? Um, I think growing up, I come from a background where, sorry, I'm trying to find the words. Yeah, I was skeptical. I'm not, um, and to this day, I'm not very um, open to, very strong shows of emotion. At least not initially. Um, I have back then I had a very small circle of people that I trusted, you know, was basically just my family, who we've gone through some pretty we had gone through some pretty serious things. Back then it was even fresher because it was young. I was younger. Um, yeah, so it's not common for us to go and meet with strangers, especially, we're coming from Mexico and dealing with racism here in the US and a lot of things. Especially Americans, that it's we don't open up like that or connect on a deep level. So
Ah,
I was
yeah.
coming in with a lot of skepticism. Um, and I still consider myself as, but um, I think that with you, I saw a very sincere and determined dedication to people and to their well-being, to their development, which I think kept making me come back, even though, the skepticism never went away or uh, that seriousness. Yeah.
I think you help a lot of us, okay, with what you're
Uh-huh.
communicating now, because I think for sure, being emotional is fairly new. We talk about social emotional literacy today, which is,
Hmm.
and we're talking about the epidemics of mental health and the crisis in America.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that wasn't a conversation back in the day when we first started. When you were 13 years old, we're talking a long time ago.
Yeah. Yeah.
And here I am with this blue ribbon ceremony, uh, teaching people how to honor each other. From it had to be
Hmm.
sincere. It's intimate. You had to reach out and tell somebody how much they matter. And given
Yeah.
the way you were feeling in those days, but here's what I loved about you is you never gave up on this. Like I think you were in our Standing Strong Together community building training, I don't know, 4 or 5 times, I think. And that's and initially it was 2.5 days. Now it's only on Zoom for six
Hmm.
weeks, 2 hours a week when I teach. But what you did is bring your sisters in,
Yeah.
and then when you ran for president of High Tech High, you brought your whole team in
Hmm.
to be trained by me, and you also um, did the blue ribbon assembly and the blue ribbons, even though it was a time way ahead of its time, even
Yeah.
though the
Yeah.
principal couldn't get 100% behind this, I
Yeah.
think, if that's correct at the
Uh-huh.
time. But you said you wanted to do an assembly like what I do,
Yeah.
which is, you said it, by the way, I'm the only one that's ever done this assembly, which is calling people to come up to the microphone and saying, what's hurting them, what's bothering them, how they've been put down, what
Hmm.
their dreams are. That's very emotional.
Yeah. Yeah. It was very intense. Yeah.
And yet you said, I want to do it, and you did it.
Yeah. Mhm.
And I remember the first person that you brought up to the microphone. Do you remember who that was?
Yeah, she was a very good friend of mine back then. Um, I haven't spoken to her in a long time, but I'm sure if I did, we would connect again. But um, she had a friend. Yeah, I guess I'll just tell you a little bit about what
Sure.
happened for the audience. Um, I think what happened is I went up there and I asked. We talked about the bullying epidemic and how
Yes.
this is a very serious issue that everybody deals with. And I invited anyone in the crowd to come in and share their experience with bullying, whether it be having bullied someone, experienced bullying, or any sort
Right.
of conflict with people. Uh, and this friend of mine came up and she shared that a friend of hers had just died by suicide, because yeah, he had been bullied for being gay, for
Yes.
having come out as gay. And she told us, she said that it's very important, to use these types of to acknowledge people, because if she had used something like the blue ribbon, she shared that maybe her friend might not have done that. Maybe they would have had a conversation where he would have talked about what he was feeling or thinking of doing, and they could have got him help. And that's ultimately what happened at high tech. Is after she said that, a bunch of students came up and started sharing, things that they were dealing with. And a lot of people, uh, he said some revealed a lot of serious issues that the school, was able to mobilize and address. I feel like it was very chaotic, and I felt a little bad for how, um, I don't think anyone was expecting, for that to happen, but I think it was a good thing that it happened
Yeah.
because yeah,
Let me,
we were able to fix a lot of issues.
why I'm bringing this up is um, because you've experienced being a skeptic, but finding something within it that was like pulling. Look, we've been stuffing emotions forever. And
Hmm.
when we stuff emotions, we're angry with ourselves and we start getting angry at others. We numb ourselves out with drugs and alcohol. We lash out with crime and violence. We hurt people. We bully. But we just want to be heard, loved, and respected.
Yeah, I think where that's coming from is, there's a degree of inconsistency in the United States, especially all over the world, but I feel here especially, where a lot of people say hypocrisy, in politics, and in a lot of ways where people express appreciation and love, but it's not genuine. And I think that's where the skepticism comes from. In my family, we don't say I love you. We show our love. Um, and so when I come into a system where people are just meeting and telling each other I love you, and using this blue ribbon, that my eternal instinct is to be like, "Mm-mm, no." But I think with you, the difference is that you're consistent with it. There's not, this show of affection and then you never hear from you again. There's never any support. It was just words. I think with you, what you do through your program is, if anyone comes up to you, you continue supporting them. You're true to your word. And maybe some of the people that are doing that with you, um, maybe it's not genuine the first time, but if they keep coming back to you, they learn to make it a true habit.
Yeah, let me speak
Yeah,
to it because we only have a couple minutes.
yeah.
But here's what I'm hearing you say. By the way, you've done assemblies with me and led
Hmm.
them in front of
Hmm.
everybody. And you just, in one of the videos that we showed, you said, um, Sparky can't teach you this. You've got to really do it yourself. If you have a dream, get up here and share your dream. So not only
Hmm.
are we teaching acknowledgement, we're also giving people a chance to share their dream. Now, if what's missing in our society here and all over the world is we've been punished all our lives. We are in school. If we do something wrong, they put a red mark on the top, and if you get a 7 out of 10 right, they'll point out the three you got wrong.
Hmm.
We're
Hmm.
always looking at punishing ourselves. We don't think we're enough. We get mad and we separate with each
Yeah.
other. But I have a gift for you right now, and it's a blue ribbon. And it says, Who I am makes a difference. And I want to honor you because right now you just wrote a whole consulting program for Blue Ribbons Worldwide for me to teach. And it's very detailed and it's brilliant. You, I honor you because you are a consultant, because we do have a long time standing but also because you actually are a nurturing personality. You really do care. You care about people, and you have a very specific way of intellect that you know how to put stuff together. And this blue ribbon is basically a key that unlocks the doorway inside of our souls for each other and bonds each other for a lifetime. And it says, "Who I am makes a difference, Roberto," because you do. Would you accept this gift from me
Yeah,
virtually?
thank you.
May I have permission to place it on you virtually?
Yes.
It goes above your heart and it points up toward all your greatest dreams coming true. And tradition is that I take the spark from my heart and put it in the cheerleaders in your ribbon. It is the sound that makes dreams come true. Do this with me. Snap your fingers 3 times to go like that and say
Like
and a
this,
one. Say go like this and say and a one
and then one,
and a two
and a two,
and a three.
and a three.
Bing.
Okay.
And every time you hear a bing, you know the child within us just got our dream because we're lifting people up instead of putting them down. We're reminding people that we are empowering them to go for their dreams instead of saying you can't do it. And it's a whole new culture that is like a compass moving us to the future of what kids that are growing up today can take care of our planet and heal our planet, heart to heart, soul to soul, know that who
Mhm.
they are makes a difference. I do adore you. I love you for being on this call. And this will go on social media in the next couple of months. And we'll be able to know that whether you're a skeptic and whatever country you come from, that we're all in it together to nurture and support and empower and uplift each other.
Yeah.
Blue ribbons to you. God bless.
Thank you, Luis.
Okay,
Thanks.
take care, gorgeous. This is
Take care.
wonderful. Bye bye.